Over the last several months, we have seen the failure of Dragon Age the Veilguard. From the YouTube videos they put out to all the promotion material, all of it got absolutely annihilated by fans. Normal people said, this doesn't look like something I want to play. And Dragon Age fans said, this doesn't feel like the Dragon Age I was used to. Virtually everyone that this game should have been for, it wasn't made for. And as a result, we heard reports of miserable, disappointing failures behind the scenes at BioWare and at EA. And it even led to the director, the trans game director, Corinne Bush, leaving BioWare. And that was a rumor that was reported at first by, I think, Smash JT and Grums, that got confirmed. And this person announced it themselves, said, yes, I'm leaving BioWare. Yeah, you're leaving BioWare. You got fucking fired. Your ass got fucking kicked out the door. Everybody understands that. But even with these reports out there, some people are claiming that doesn't mean it was a failure. People love this game, I promise. Oh, yeah? Well, it took 3 months, maybe even more than that. I forget when this game released, but it took 3 months. Finally, EA has said something officially about Dragon Age the Veilguard sales. And spoiler alert, it's exactly what we reported and what we said. Dragon Age the Veilguard underperformed EA's expectations. Oh, yes, it did. EA says Dragon Age the Veilguard didn't meet revenue expectations. What a shock. What a surprise. How crazy. EA's announced that Dragon Age the Veilguard failed to meet the company's internal expectations in its preliminary Q3 fiscal year 2025 earnings report. EA revealed it was forced to lower its revenue forecast for both the quarter and the fiscal year after the first Dragon Age game in 10 years missed expectations by a wide margin. Dragon Age engaged approximately 1.5 million players during the quarter. It's weird how we say that. It engaged 1.5 million players. Not 1.5 million sales. It engaged 1.5 million players, which might mean you had some people play it, return it. I don't know if it was a Game Pass game, so that might be part of that as well, but that's beside the point. 1.5 million people played this game, down nearly 50% from the company's expectation. So the company's expectation was about 3 million, which probably is low in the first couple months for a game of that you worked on for a fucking decade that cost hundreds of millions of dollars. But nevertheless, that's what they said their expectations were. And it was half of that, right? Keep in mind, even if you assume all 1.5 million people, all of them, each and every one of them, if they all bought the game for $70 fucking, nobody returned it, nobody got it on sale, nobody had it as part of Game Pass, like whatever it may be, then you're still looking at, that's effectively a little over $100 million in revenue. Like that's what we're talking about here, 1.5 million. And then you have to factor in that Steam gets about a 30% cut. All the digital platforms get a 30% cut. Physical retail stores get about a 30 to 40% cut. So best case scenario, you're talking about money that you brought in from this in the $60 or $70 million range. That doesn't come close to covering the cost of this game. It's a failure. It's a flop. It's garbage. It's trash. Just like so many people said when they first started seeing the promotional material for this. But no, people in the mainstream media, part of the legacy gaming media, that they didn't want to admit that. In fact, they said the opposite. I saw Legacy Kelly here laughing at this. Jason Schreier, when Veilguard came out and had 60,000 people playing it that opening weekend, go woke, go top of the charts. Well, now EA blames underperformance of Dragon Age and EA FC 25 as it lowers forecast. Yeah, it flopped. It flopped. And then he does follow it up here. Someone responded, there's no way you genuinely like this turd. I actually don't like the game very much, but I do like seeing you chuds get dunked on. I think he ended up deleting these tweets out of embarrassment because he was wrong. The entire time he was wrong. This game lost a significant amount of money. This game failed in large part because you have a transgender creative director that, instead of saying, hey, what do Dragon Age fans want, said, hey, I want to tell the story of me. I want to tell my story, and push it on Dragon Age fans. And there's no way to avoid it, right? It would be one thing if this non-binary, this Tosh character, if that had been presented as, okay, you can be all right with that lifestyle, or you can make fun of him, reject him, belittle him, all those things. At least that would be an actual true RPG, right? That's what RPG is supposed to be about. But that wasn't the case. You couldn't do that. You couldn't not confirm or hold up this identity that this freak had generated. Like, you couldn't do that. And that's one of the reasons it got rejected so hard. Of the misgendering, the punishment for misgendering someone, the the stuff that was going viral. It was cringe, it was stupid, and people didn't like it. And now we know, just a few months later, that what the reports were saying, the internal reports, they were right all along. This is a massive flop for BioWare, and maybe could be the end of the Dragon Age franchise. Very well could be the end of the Dragon Age franchise, which is sad, but this is what happened when you let activists run your company.